A Christian brother, obviously he's from Africa, he attend Zakir Naik showtime. You know, they put somebody in the stage, and you cannot debate. Actually, Zakir Naik, this time he mentioned, is that a debate? Are we debating now? They cannot debate you. They cannot, they don't even dare to debate. And you will notice here that the one who is giving the stage, he is giving a very foolish answers for a very legitimate question. Even though this African brother, he don't speak Arabic, and Zakir Naik don't speak Arabic anyway, yet he claimed to be a sheikh. He's the same as Sheikh Uthman. He claimed to have a master degree in hadith, but yet he cannot read one of them. So let us hear what happened in this conversation, and let us see how smart the author of the Quran and the one who believes in the Quran. And just to let you know, I will open my Skype in less than 3 minutes from now. So if you are a Muslim, you can call us and you can engage with us in the refutation if you have any. Let us hear Zakir Naik.
Answer I gave. Now, are you convinced that the first 2 verses doesn't say that Allah can have a son? Do you agree or not?
He said if he wants to have a son.
If doesn't mean, if I say, if you are right, I will give you $1 million, does it mean you are right?
That means it's not
If
you
I
to
say,
decide, it's
if
not me
you
to
are-
decide, it's Allah to decide. If
Brother,
Allah
wait, listen,
wants,
listen, wait,
not me,
wait,
not you,
wait, wait.
not anybody.
Don't talk when I'm talking. Don't talk when I'm talking. Do you understand English?
Zakir Naik get angry.
Do you understand English?
No, I don't.
Okay. Why
Do-
not?
do you?
I'm speaking English.
I think you can't understand English.
I understand.
Then why are you breaking the rules? In question and session, you cannot interrupt.
And look at the music in the
Cannot talk in
background.
between. Do you know that?
Because I
You
don't
cannot,
finish
you
the
know,
list of the question.
again you're talking.
I don't you talk about, huh? Huh.
Is this a debate or is it a question and answer session?
Grumpy.
So once you ask a question, you have to keep quiet.
Thank you.
You Christian missionaries, you're a Christian missionary.
I mean what?
Are you a Christian missionary? Can you ask your question?
Are you a Christian missionary?
My name is Benson Sunday. My name is Benson Sunday. Okay. My name is Benson Sunday, and I'm a software engineer. So my question, the first question will come out from your lecture, and I want us to just clarify that before we go into...
Brother, can you speak a bit slowly because there's echo? So can I have your name? Mention your name, but speak a bit slowly because there's a problem in the system. Too much echo is there. Yes, brother.
Okay, so I said my first question is from your lecture, which I want us to clarify that before maybe we move into other questions. Okay, so my question goes by like this. You were saying there in your lecture that God does not have a son, and it is the most derogatory thing to him, for him to have a son. You actually make some other examples like...
I can't hear you, brother.
Okay, you said...
The monitor speakers are very bad. The monitor speakers are very bad. I can hear the echo, but I cannot hear from the monitor speakers. The monitor speakers are atrocious. It's not working, I think. Only for show. Only for show. Okay, brother, can you come in the front?
And look at the picture behind them. Look, Zakir Naik, he is promoting his son for the business, to take over the business. I mean, his son is not even 20 years old, and his son now he claimed to be a sheikh, and he grow in a beard. He put fertilizer, and look at this picture. I want to take you and your son for a snack if you dare. Coward.
And just ask, can you come in the front here? More in the front. Okay, yes. Okay, ask. Sorry.
Great, sir. So you said in your lecture that God does not have a son, and it's a big derogatory to him to ascribe a son to him. And you even said how people should react if how people should react if something derogatory is said to probably our parents. But I want to go into, first of all, the clarity about God having a son or not. And I discovered from checking the Quran.
Can you hear him, guys?
Quran, maybe we'll pick it one after the other to see.
Can you hear the video correctly? Can you hear the sound good? Is his voice coming good? Let us play and see.
Some of the things that Quran says, and be able to say, like Quran chapter 39 verse 4.
Hello? Okay, let us see if we can.
Anybody can also read it.
I'm not sure why.
I can't hear the last part. What did you say Quran says?
Quran chapter 39.
Quran chapter 39.
Verse 4.
Verse 4. What does it say?
Okay, he's saying there, if Allah had wanted to take himself a son, he could have choose anyone he wants out of those who he created.
I think there is a problem in the video itself. The video itself is the audio is low. This is why Zakir Naik himself was not able to hear. Let me see if I can fix that. I have the audio here all the way to the end. So I think this is from the video itself. You have to increase the volume from your side. Sorry, what we can do, you know.
Glory be to him.
I can't hear you.
Okay, maybe you could read it out for me.
Okay.
Quran chapter 39 verse 4.
Verse 4, yes?
So, will you read it?
Yes.
I want you to read it.
You want to read?
You said you can't hear me, so maybe you should read it.
Yes.
Okay. Quran chapter 39 verse 4. If Allah had wanted to take himself a son or have a son, he could have choose anyone he wanted out of those whom he created. Glory be to him that he should have a son. Now, that's my beginning. From this Quranic verse, it is clear that Allah could choose to have a son.
Ah, okay. I'll give the reply. That's the question?
No, that's not my question. That's the
What's your question? Tell me.
This is
You are misinterpreting the Quran. What's the question? Tell me, I will tell you.
Okay. So
This verse doesn't mean Allah can choose. I will tell you.
okay, good.
You ask your question, I will listen. What's your question?
There are many Quranic verses I want to use to build up the question so that you can answer it clearly.
What's your question?
Good. The question is, can Allah have a son? And when we look at what the Quran itself is saying, the first one is that it's saying that if Allah wants to have a son, he can decide to have a son. That is number one. Number two is now that he said that in Quran chapter 6, verse 101, Quran chapter 6, verse 101, he said, he is the originator of heavens and earth. How could he have a child when he had no mate? He created all things and had perfect knowledge of everything. Now, Quran, I don't know if I should continue. Should I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What's the question?
Yes. Quran chapter 6 verse 101 is saying that if Allah choose to have a wife, who is going to be the partner? Because he doesn't have a partner. But Quran chapter 19, Surah Al-Imran, ayah 20-21. The same thing is a question that Miriam, asks the angel, who actually came from verse 17. Allah shows that he came in the appearance of a man in all respect, and dialogue with him and tell him that you have a son. And he said, how can I have a son without knowing anybody?
I got your question.
So she was able to have a son without an husband. So in Quran chapter 6 verse 101, that is also possible by Allah, because Allah said whatever he likes to say.
I got a question.
Good. So,
Yeah.
and
Brother,
to continue with that,
Your first verse was which? The first Quranic verse was which?
Sir?
The first Quranic verse.
Yes, I've not finished the first one.
No, what was the reference?
The reference, Quran chapter, the first one. Quran chapter 39, verse 4.
Okay, fine, I got it. The brother has quoted two verses. Surah Zumur chapter 39, verse number 4, and Surah Anam chapter 6, verse number 101. And Surah Zumur chapter 39, verse number 4 says, if Allah had intended to take a son, He could have chosen from what He creates, whatever He willed. Exhausted is He is Allah the one and prevailing. Now the brother is asking a question. This means if Allah wants, He can take a son. And similar in Surah Anam chapter 6 verse 101. So brother is saying that Allah can take a son if He wishes. That's the question.
Okay.
But the verse is very clear. If.
Yes.
But
Now,
it does not. It is not befitting for Allah to have a son. Complete the full verse. If you read this context, it says in the first.
And here we need to ask, how is stupid the author of the Quran? What will happen to Allah if He have a son? He will not be God no more? And what kind of God He think it doesn't befit Him? You see, when I say it doesn't befit me to be a rapist, okay, I understand, this is against ethic. It doesn't befit me to be a liar. It doesn't befit me to be a double standard. So this is about the quality of ethic. And because now supposedly He is God, so what having a son will do to His majesty? What exactly the problem? Zakir Naik, he said, if, so what? If He like to have a son, He will have it from His creation. The if here is about who is going to be qualified. And here what you see in the stupid thing is, if it does not befit to Allah to have a son, how Allah He say, if He want to have a son, He will have it from His creation? Why you choose the creation? What about you are God? Can't you as God make a son, or let us say have a son by the son is born of you? Is that possible? Or Allah is limited when it's come to that? Is He limited? Obviously He is. And you will notice that Allah cannot have a son unless He have a girlfriend, and we showed you the verses. In chapter 6, verse 101. So the limitation of Allah's ability, proving to us that again that Allah cannot be God, because my God, He can have a son without having a girlfriend. The Messiah is the Son of God before He was born from Mary, before even Mary was exist. Which means the existence of the Messiah have nothing to do with the existence of Mary. When the Messiah, He said, before Abraham I am, well, Abraham is the father of all the Jews. Before Abraham. Who is Abraham? Nobody. To the Messiah. And Abraham, he saw my day and he rejoiced for it. So the Messiah confirmed that he was witnessed by Abraham, and Abraham worshipped him. Here what we see is the opposite. We have a God, he cannot have a son, and he explained why. Who is the one explaining that Allah cannot have a son? Allah. What is the reason? How can he have a son without? So it's very obvious that Allah is a just, this is the logic of a man. This is an answer of a man. This is not an answer of someone he claimed to be God. God do not need a wife to have a son. unless this God is the same as us, and he need to practice sexual act and then have orgasm, and then this female, she will deliver a son after, you know, some time, because he put his seed in her. If this is the case, then why you call him God? God do not need ingredients to create something. Isn't it you Muslims say that Allah can create anything he wants from nothing? It turned to be Allah, he cannot create anything. You see, the ability of Adam and Eve is given to them from God, that they can have children, which means they can reproduce. But they are not really creating, they are reproducing. So God, he gave them the ability of reproducing, let us say recreation. But they are not creating from nothing. They are reproducing from what they have. The DNA of the man, the DNA of the woman, the egg of the women, the sperm, the semen of the man, both they come together, and you know, we have a creature who first of all are created by God. But the God of Muhammad, who his word written by Muhammad, obviously Muhammad, he is an ignorant. Even the Muslim, they agree that Muhammad, according to them, is illiterate. And I believe he's not illiterate about writing and reading. He is illiterate about religion. He is illiterate about logic. He is illiterate about intelligence. He have a very weak intelligence. So now Zakir Naik trying to explain. We will go back a little bit so we can catch up what he said, and we continue. And you will see how stupid the logic is when he's trying to refute this.
In the appearance of a man in all respects, and dialogue with him and tell him that you have a son. And he said, how can I have a son without knowing anybody?
I got your question.
So he was able to have she was able to have a son without an husband. So in Quran chapter 6 verse 101, that is also possible by Allah, because Allah said whatever he likes to see.
I got your question.
Good. So, and to continue with that.
Your first verse was which? The first Quranic verse was which?
Sir?
The first Quranic verse.
Yes, I've not finished the first one.
No, what was the reference?
The reference, Quran chapter, the first one. Quran chapter 39 verse 4.
Okay, fine, I got it. The brother has quoted two verses. Surah Zumur chapter 39 verse number 4, and Surah Anam chapter 6 verse number 101. And Surah Zumur chapter 39 verse number 4 says, if Allah had intended to take a son, he could have chosen from what he creates whatever he willed. Exalted is he is Allah the one and prevailing. Now the brother is asking a question. This means if Allah wants, he can take a son. And similar in Surah Anam chapter 6 verse 101. So brother is saying that Allah can take a son if he wishes. That's the question.
Okay.
But the verse is very clear. If.
Yes.
But
Now,
it does not. It is not befitting for Allah to have a son. Complete the full verse. If you read this context, it says in the first verse, unquestionably for Allah is the pure religion, and those who take protectors say, we only worship them who may bring us nearer to Allah. Allah will judge between concerning them. Indeed, Allah does not guide who is a liar and a disbeliever. Read in context. Don't read out of context. So Allah is saying these.
Look how stupid what Allah he said supposedly, Aka Muhammad. Allah don't guide who is a liar and he is a disbeliever. So Allah guide who? The one is a believer? I mean, do you see the stupidity? If Allah do not guide the one who is a liar or a disbeliever, then we will guide who? The one is guided already? Do you see the stupidity? Like, let me lead you to the way, but you are incorrect in the correct road. So Allah, he lead only those who they are in the right. That means he did not lead them. And here you see the stupidity of the Quran maker. Allah guide not those who they are misguided by him. And if we ask the Muslims, who is the one who misguided, they will say Allah. So how they are liars? And how they are called liars? Don't use bad language, please, in the chat. Otherwise, we have to give you time or block you. No bad words. So they cannot answer. In the same time, if Allah want to take a son, that will not make him a son anyway. Do you see how stupid the logic? If Allah wanted to have a son, he will take a son from his creation, but that will not make him a son. Because obviously this is not his son. He take a son. You see? You cannot take a son. What do you mean you take a son? If this so-called son is one of many they are created, that means all of them, they can be qualified to be son of God. Correct? And that means the God of Islam, he could not comprehend that God's son, in order to be God's son, he should be holy, he should be godly, he should have the same feature of God. You see, when the Bible explains about Jesus, it tells us very simple words, that he emptied himself, he took the flesh, he humbled himself. So this is not how God is. He humbled himself in the flesh of a weak man. And the weakness of Jesus was amazing power. Like we know how he controlled nature, and how he make the blind see, and how he make the one who cannot walk. He make a command, and the command will be. And this is in his weak image. Let us say the humble image. So the God of Islam and the author of the stupid Quran, he missed the point that when we say God's son, that will not be a God's son if he is adopting a son. That is not son. For what Islam is talking about, adoption. And that is very stupid. It's in front of you. It says, if he desire to take a son for himself, he will surely choose. Surely, do you see the word surely? So this is his only option. He will surely choose those who he pleases from what he has created. Okay. But this is adoption. And adoption is not a son. Adopted son is not your son. Is your son in an ethical way. Let us say you are doing charity. You are doing an act of nobility. Like somebody is homeless, somebody is infant, poor, somebody have no parents, an orphan. So you adopt the child and you allow him to call you, but this is for us as a human. And here, I am a human, he is a human, still, he is not really my son. And we showed you that the Quran confirmed that. The Quran forbid adoption. The Quran forbid that Muslims, they will call themselves by the name of somebody else. You cannot call a person by the name of anyone except the name of his father. وَدْعُوهُمْ بِأَسْمَاءِ آبَائِهِمْ. Call them by the name of their fathers. So why Muhammad now suddenly talking about something is not valid? Talking about if Allah want to take a son, and he is saying, and he said, Well, if I say to you, if, it doesn't make it is going to happen. If I say it, if you are right, and here you see that logic is awkward, because this is not about if he is right or is wrong. This is here about if I choose to have a son, he will be from those I am creating. And here we notice right away that the one who made this verse don't understand what the word son mean. You are not the son of somebody unless you are born of that person. And this is the teaching of the Quran. Suddenly the Muslims, they don't want to follow the Quran. Even Muhammad, he told them that in the day of judgment, everyone will be called by the name of his father, which means it's Zakir, the son of Muhammad, let's say. So the ignorance is to not understand that a son is only about, in Islam specifically to be born of those parents. Otherwise, you are not the son of that person. And Islam refused adoption. And now Allah is speaking about adoption, which means he don't even understand. He is refuting what? And refuting who? We don't believe that God, he adopted Jesus. Like he went to the orphan, he found a person, his name is Jesus. He was a child. He say, hey, Jesus, where's your parents? Oh, they die. I have no parents. Oh, okay, I will adopt you. This is not what the Christians believe. Even this is not what the Arab believe. Same time in other verses, the Quran says, if Allah wanted to have a son, he will take it from ourself. And what ourself will be? Actually, this is the biggest poo-poo maybe Muhammad he made in history, in his history, when he is speaking about God don't have a son. This is the biggest ever poo-poo. Because when Allah he speak about him, if you want to have a son, he will take a son from us. And then the Muslim, they say to us, Allah, if he wanted to take a son, he will take it from his creation. Are you with me? Either the son is from us, which means he is God as nature. Because us, you ask the Muslims, who is us? They say that Allah he speak about himself. Why he is using us? They say this is about being majestic. But here he cannot be about himself only because he will not take a partner from himself. And that will not work. You cannot take a partner which is a female and you call it us unless you are saying to me you are one person, two gender. And then you decide to have sex with yourself and now you decide to have a partner who is yourself. If we go to chapter 21, let us play the video of Zakir Naik and we will continue with that.
People are liars and disbelievers. Then Allah says, if Allah had intended, that means Allah does not intend to take a son. It's a telling. So read the context. It says,
the Muslims are shouting and they are so excited. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That means Allah did not intend to have a son. This is not the question if he intended or not. This is the stupid Quran. We get it. Allah did not intend to have a son. But why he is saying, if he want to take a son, he will take it from himself. Why he is saying, if I want to take a son, I will take it from our creation. If himself is not the creation.
unquestionably for Allah is the pure religion. Allah does not guide who is a liar and a disbeliever. Then the next verse starts. So don't quote out of context. Correct? If you quote in context, you come to know Allah is telling all those people who say Allah is a son, etc., they are liars. And then Allah says, if Allah had intended to take a son, He could have chosen from what He creates, whatever He willed. Exalted is He. That means He's far above having a son.
Okay.
So this, let me complete. You ask the question, now listen to my answer. Don't interrupt. Understand?
Yes, sir.
You don't understand the Quran. Here Allah is saying they are liars. So what you are doing, you are taking a verse from the Quran out of context and trying to misguide. In context it says that this is all nonsense. These people are liars. And even the next verse. So from here we come to know, if Allah wanted, He could have done. Allah is far superior than this. Then coming to your next verse of Surah Anam, chapter number 6, verse number 101. Verse number 101. It says, He is the originator of the heavens and the earth. How could He have a son when He does not have a companion? The Quran says, how can Allah have a son when He doesn't have a wife? Allah is giving the answer. How can Allah...
Allah is giving you the answer, brother. Brother Peter, Allah is giving you the answer. Look at this tongue and look at those teeth are gone. And look at this beard which is not growing after all the fertilizer. What kind of an answer this answer, you idiot? You just buried your God. How Allah can have a son if He don't have a girlfriend? This is an answer of God? This idiot, he think that Allah now is refuting this Christian man. How He refuted him? Well, the answer is very simple, brother. How Allah can have a son if He don't have a girlfriend? Do you see how we refuted you, brother? Allah cannot have a son if He don't have a girlfriend. So now Allah, who don't have a girlfriend, He is giving us the answer. And what the answer? Well, because He don't, this one here, because He don't have a wife. Allah is giving you the answer. Hey Muslims, aren't you laughing at your stupid God? Are you serious? This is the answer? How even this can be an answer? This is not an answer of someone he can be God. This is an answer of someone he is a man like us. Because God do not need. Okay, how can Allah have a son without having a wife? Then how Allah can have anything created if He don't have a wife? You see, what we are questioning now, we are questioning the birth of a child. And this child obviously is a human. Because Allah is speaking about what? He mentioned in Arabic the word sahiba, girlfriend. It's not even a wife. Sahiba mean a girlfriend. So when this idiot, he claimed that Allah is answering you, Allah is getting himself busted. For this is not God and cannot be God, for God do not need a wife. Isn't it you Muslim you claim? If Allah wanted something to happen, He say B is going to be. So why He need a wife suddenly? Isn't it you Muslim you say the Quran says, if this is a book made by other than Allah, you will find in it a lot of contradiction? Isn't it contradiction to say that Allah, if He want to have something, He say B, and now to say that Allah cannot have something by saying B? He need a wife? They cannot be work together. One of them is wrong.